So you're saying there's a chance? Yes. A spot in the Sun Belt Football Championship game, bowl eligibility, a number of things are on the line this weekend. Football gets underway in Atlanta at 1 p.m. Central on Saturday when South Alabama visits Georgia State. In South Alabama's game against Louisiana, running back Trey Mentor recorded a 100-yard-plus game, becoming the third individual in program history to rush for more than 2,000 yards in a career. As a team, the Jaguars collected 351 rushing yards, the most ever in a Sun Belt Conference game in South's program history. While Georgia State fell to Appalachian State last weekend, you have to commend quarterback Dan Ellington for his play. Playing on a torn ACL and obviously limited in mobility, Ellington went 12 of 27 for 88 yards. As head coach Sean Elliott said, Ellington was out there playing on sheer guts, trying to will his team to win against a great football team. It truly was a testament to who that man is. That young man is just remarkable. The Panthers' offense ranks in the top 25 among FBS leaders in total offense, scoring, third down conversions, first downs, and rushing, where they rank 7th, averaging 265.8 yards per game. Again, the Jaguars at the Panthers kicks off at 1 Central and will be on ESPN+. Next up on Saturday is Texas State at 24th ranked Appalachian State. Texas State will be closing out their season on the road in the Carolinas. Last week against Troy, Texas State's Tyler Vitt completed a season-high 29 passes and 44 throws for 263 yards and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, Anthony Taylor, Jayshon Waddy, and Frankie Griffin led the way, all totaling 7 tackles, with Griffin collecting 1 sack. Appalachian State comes into Saturday's game ranked 24th in the college football playoff rankings. In their last outing versus Georgia State, the Mountaineers responded to early adversity by scoring 7 consecutive touchdowns while also forcing 7 3-and-outs in 9 possessions, with one of the other 2 possessions ending in Sean Jolly's second interception on the night.
I think Sean has definitely developed and taken his game to the next level. I mean, anytime you've got 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns and a block punt, multiple PBUs, you're playing at a high level. Credit to Coach Harbison and his development. I mean, obviously going into the season, we were extremely worried about the corner position. He's playing with a lot of confidence right now, and I think anytime you're a defensive back, you have to play with confidence, and he's got that. So it's really a credit to him.
The Bobcats versus the Mountaineers is set for a 1:30 Central kick on ESPN+. Later in the afternoon, Georgia Southern is at Arkansas State. Georgia Southern continues to pace the league in rushing defense while also impressing with special teams. The Eagles punter Anthony Beck II was named Sun Belt Special Teams Player of the Week this week after punting 6 times for an average of 48.5 yards. Beck downed 3 of his punts inside the 20-yard line and had 2 punts of 50-plus yards. Arkansas State's Omar Bayless was named one of 12 semifinalists for the Biletnikoff Award issued annually to an outstanding FBS receiver regardless of position. Bayless currently leads the nation in total receiving yards and touchdown catches while also ranking 9th in receptions. The senior has posted a school record 6 100-yard receiving games this year, which is the 2nd most in the country. The Eagles and the Red Wolves kick off at 2 Central on ESPN+. Coastal Carolina wraps up its road slate when the Chanticleers travel west to take on ULM in Monroe, a matchup in which both teams are still fighting to become bowl eligible. Scouting Coastal's offense, the Chanticleers are 19 of 25 on 4th down attempts this year, which ranks 8th nationally. In the Chants' last outing versus Arkansas State, CCU's offense went 5 of 9 on 4th down. On the other side, Coastal's defense forced a season-high 4 turnovers, while special teams forced and recovered a fumble. ULM was 4 for 4 on 4th down chances last week against Georgia Southern, and while they outgained the Eagles by 36 yards, they will look to improve offensively and limit penalties and turnovers in order to get one step closer to a bowl game. The Chanticleers and Warhawks kick at 4 Central on ESPN3. At the same time, Troy and Louisiana kick off over on ESPN+. In Troy's last game versus Texas State, Caleb Barker threw 6 touchdown passes, tying Troy's single-game record. Barker's touchdown tally was the second most in Sunbelt history and the third most in the FBS this season. Defensively, Carlton Marshall continued to add to his resume with 2 interceptions, one of which he returned 64 yards for a touchdown. With a win over Louisiana, Troy can become bowl eligible.
Very explosive on offense. This is probably one of the better group of skill players that we played against this year. Veteran offensive line and quarterback. And I think they're leading the country in points scored, maybe top 2 or 3 in the country the last couple of weeks. And they're getting better on defense. You can see there's it's a new staff over there. Certainly a lot of new coaches working together, and they're making improvement. Created 4 takeaways against Texas State, pick 6 in the 4th quarter. So, we know Troy. We played against this group of players last year, very much a veteran group, and we're excited about the challenge.
Louisiana had a hard-fought win over South Alabama, where the Jaguars actually outrushed the Cajuns by almost 100 yards. The Cajun kicking game was crucial versus South, with Stevie Artigue scoring 13 points. His 3 made field goals upped his career total to 46, the most in program history.
We control our own destiny, and this Saturday will be no different. We need to go out here and play our best football game. Each one of these games is an individual deal. It's a different mission, it's different matchups, different personnel, different concepts, different locations. So I think you got to do a good job of, really zeroing in what are going to be the important things for this week, fundamentally, conceptually, matchup-wise, making sure that we're in the right frame of mind and we're ready to play, which is, every week is a little bit of a different challenge. I know one thing, we're excited to be back home, and certainly, we played Troy last year, and we have a ton of respect for that program and this group of players.
Troy at Louisiana kicks off at 4 Central on ESPN+. With December 7th just right around the corner and championship game opponents still unknown at this time, be sure to stay locked in on sunbeltsports.org, right here on Twitter and on Instagram at Sunbelt, and on Facebook at Sunbelt Conference.